Hi Chelsea fans, Chels Daft here with another video today, and this one is focused on the transfer speculation of players that are due to be leaving the club, players that are reportedly now put up for sale, including KANTE, which is just unbelievable, and of course the ones we're looking to bring in as Frank Lampard looks to mould the squad into his image, because let's face it, he's not had a chance to do so with a transfer ban and not sign anybody in January. This is going to be in depth, it's going to be long, but bear with me and stick with it because there's plenty to discuss, and I'm sure there's one or two players you've got on your mind you'd like to see come in or go. I'm going to try and cover as much as possible. This is me, Chels Daft. Welcome to the channel. Let's get cracking. So we have to look at the situation now, and we've got to be positive. We have to back Frank Lampard, and I'm sure Roman Abramovich, Petr Cech, Marina Granovskaya are all doing what they can for Frank Lampard to try and mould this team into something of his image, but not only that, to close the gap to the likes of Man City and Liverpool. I'm sure that Chelsea will do everything they can by the time the Premier League kicks off, whether that's going to be September the 12th or if the FA are going to listen to Frank's plea to allow Chelsea a bit longer time, that Chelsea team will be exactly what Frank Lampard wants. So here's the players that Chelsea are looking to get rid of this summer, and I think the new loan rules and the amount of players you can actually have out on loan will affect things, and you could see a possible clear out of the deadwood, the players that are no longer part and parcel of the Chelsea first team squad. And of course you've got others that are going to be leaving. So first up, Kepa. He signed on a 7-year contract for big money, and Chelsea are going to struggle to try and get rid of him. It looks as though the loan option to Valencia, multi-loan option, is something the club's considering, but it's also believed that Sevilla over in La Liga are also keen to try and take him back to La Liga. And one way or the other, I don't think Kepa will be here next season. Frank made a great big statement final day of the season by putting Caballero back in, and again on Saturday in the FA Cup final with Caballero starting, so Kepa will go. Now that's going to be a multi-year loan deal. I can't see Chelsea taking a massive hit on Kepa with a transfer fee, so it'll probably be a loan for 2, 3, 4 seasons maybe. We have to wait and see. Second up, DAVIDE ZAPPACOSTA, signed in 2017. And you think if we sign him for about 32 million, been a bit part, been nowhere near the first team, and you have to say that him being sent out on loan, I know he got injured, but Chelsea will be looking to cash in on him around 20 to 25 million this summer. Then there's Emerson Palmieri, who's hardly featured for Chelsea at all this season under Frank Lampard. He has now and again, but his time's up. He's going to go back to Italy. There's interest from Inter Milan, possibly Juve, and I can see Palmieri going. 25 million maybe, 30 million tops, he'll go, and he joined in 2017. Victor Moses is the next one. Now Victor Moses is an interesting story because think of just how he played under Antonio Conte in the first season as the right wing back. He was a bit of a revelation, wasn't he? After that point, sort of disappeared, was sent out on loan, and I think that Moses could leave the club for as little as 15 million this summer. Next up, Ghanaian defender Baba Rahman joined the club in 2015, hardly featured. He featured for, he got a few games in the first time he joined the club, but since then, just not good enough. It was a poor investment at the time. He'll be sold for anything as little as 10 million maybe, 10 to 15 million, he'll go. Then there's Bakayoko, who was the next big thing. We've all been impressed with him at Monaco. He had a great season when they made it through to the last stage of the Champions League. Chelsea took a punt for 40 million, never really worked out. He's been out on loan at different clubs, AC Milan, he's been out on loan back at Monaco, and Chelsea will be looking to cash in on him this summer. 30 million, I would imagine they'll probably accept, bearing in mind they paid 10 million extra in 2017. Then there's Danny Drinkwater, the curious case of Danny D, who came into the club and never really got himself in a position where he could challenge for first team start. If you remember the goal he scored for us when he was managed by Antonio Conte and he scored, it looks as though he turned around to Conte at the time on the pitch and give him what for. and he just never really made it. He's gone out on loan and not really made it either. So I think that Chelsea will accept as little as 15 million maybe to 20 million for Drinkwater, who signed 2017. Then there's Kennedy. Kennedy, who's been out on loan. He's someone that's been in, and is his position left back? Is his position left wing? I don't think anybody knows. And he'll go. Maybe the same, 15 to 20 million. He'll go as well. And now we're going to move on to one we know is going to leave, and that's Pedro, who unfortunately dislocated his shoulder on Saturday, and we wish him a speedy recovery. He's leaving to sign for Roma on a free transfer, as we all know. So to MICHY BATSHUAYI, nowhere near the first team. Frank's not having him, gave him an opportunity which he never took, and that was it. We haven't seen him since. BATSHUAYI will leave around maybe 25 million, I'd say. We signed him, but I can't remember what it was we signed him for. I think it was around 35, somewhere near that. He'll go. He'll go this summer. Not clear where he will go, but he could be offered maybe to West Ham for a future transfer, but more on that when we focus on the players coming in. Then there's WILLIAN, and we don't know what's going to happen. Frank Lampard has come out and said he doesn't know what's going to happen with WILLIAN, and if he stays, it's great. If he doesn't, he's been a fantastic servant for Chelsea, but WILLIAN could leave on a free. So, based on all those players I've gone through, all those players we've listed, there's now 4 other names that Frank Lampard is willing to listen to offers on, and it's quite surprising, bearing in mind all those players that I've already listed. Marcos Alonso is also a name that's being touted as being made available by Chelsea this summer. That's both left backs, which is interesting. Then there's Andreas Christensen, who's found himself out of the team playing second fiddle to Aspi, to Rudiger and to ZOUMA when they're playing the back three. Obviously he's going to play because Aspi's probably going to miss the Bayern Munich game. So Christensen, they're willing to listen to offers for him. Maybe they think he hasn't made enough progress in the time he's been at the club. The third person listed is surprising for me. It's Kurt Zouma. And I think Kurt Zouma has actually been a revelation. His ball control is much better than it was. He's the only real physical and sort of man-mountain of a defender that we've got at the club that's willing to go up and win headers, that's physical in the challenge but fair. And I'm quite surprised at that. I'd rather keep hold of Zouma. And then the fourth name, which is really surprising, is N'Golo Kante. Chelsea are willing to listen to offers for N'Golo Kante, and I sincerely hope that's just pure speculation and there's no substance in it whatsoever. Yes, his injuries have been a problem, but the guy played solid for 4 years. What more do you expect? And Frank is very noticeably trying to protect him, and he spoke after the FA Cup final saying that he didn't want to bring him on in case he broke down and we were then shorted by a player, because he wants to think about next year. I can't see that being true. I think that if you want to close the gap and if you want to challenge again for trophies, we must keep N'Golo Kante. So all those players listed, forget the Alonso, Zouma, Christensen and Kante. Those players listed possibly leave him, and you're looking at around 135 million. Those players, not including Kante. That's 135 million out. So to the players we're looking at who can come in, and it's pretty clear that we've already got 2 through the door, but there could be 4 more joining them this summer. We could see 6 players coming in, all to fight for the first team, and that's quite surprising. That major overhaul in a first team indicates to you that Frank is looking to sort of, to regroup and to start again and to build, and with the emphasis being on the goalkeeper and the back 4 primarily. Attacking areas, we've addressed the problems that we had with creating goals and scoring goals with Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner. So let's focus now on the goalkeeper and the defenders. And first of all, I believe now more than ever that Chelsea are turning to Burnley, to Nick Pope, the Burnley goalkeeper, 28-year-old goalkeeper. He comes second in the Golden Glove this year with 15 clean sheets. He's an imposing presence. He's a great goalkeeper. And Chelsea could get the deal done for 50 million this summer as the Kepa replacement. Nick Pope is the first signing, as I say, around 50 million. The reason he's 50 million, he's still got 3 years left on his contract, and Chelsea will need to take that into consideration when they make the offer. So that's the first signing. Then looking at the defenders, and it's clear with the left back position, Chelsea need to go out and sign somebody. Now, it's Tagliafico or Ben Chilwell. People have got reservations on both, I understand that. But Frank's looking for more of an expressive sort of forward that's going forward. Also can do a job defensively. He may not be the best at the minute. He's only 23. Ben Chilwell. But with the fact that Leicester have dropped out the Champions League places, I think it's the substance is there. Chilwell was said to Brendan Rodgers he wants to leave to go to Chelsea. So now Leicester are trying to make plans to buy a replacement. And I can honestly see Chilwell being signed. He's Frank Lampard's #1 target in that area. And I can see Chilwell being signed. And believe it or not, I actually think Alonso will stay. Chilwell is probably going to cost you around 60 million. So for Pope and Chilwell, that's 110 million spent already. And there's still more to come. The third player signed this summer, in addition to Werner and Ziyech, will be Declan Rice. Frank Lampard's identified Declan Rice as the English centre-half, physical, strong, can play midfield. It's clear that he wants him. West Ham apparently have got financial issues. They want to try and work themselves in the transfer window and strengthen the options that they've got. And 65 million from Chelsea for Declan Rice and possibly Batshuayi or possibly Ross Barkley could be something that David Moyes grabs and takes hold of. And I think that could possibly happen. So Declan Rice will come into Chelsea. He's only 21. He'll come back to Chelsea 7 years or 8 years after he left the club and will be Frank Lampard's third additional signing. 3 English players to bolster the English contingent in the squad. That could be done pretty quickly. The fourth signing, as we all know, is looking like to being Kai Havertz, but we keep hearing there's no official offer being made by Chelsea. That's because they're not going to pay the 90 million. Could we see a deal being done for around 70, 65 to 70 with add-ons to build up the fee to somewhere near where Leverkusen want it to be? It's an area, if you're going to lose Willian and Pedro, and you've only got Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech in wide areas, Havertz could be the alternative, knowing that Mason Mount can also play wide cutting in. Havertz can possibly do a job there, or the number 10. And I think that it's clear that Chelsea want him. Whether they're going to pay, as I say, the 90 million that Leverkusen want, not so sure. But let's just say they cut a deal for around 80 million. So that's the 4 additional signings that Chelsea could possibly make this summer. It will bolster the defensive options that we've got. It hopefully will improve our defence and the goalkeeping situation and give us an exciting midfielder who can create and craft and link up with the likes of Werner, Ziyech, Abraham, Giroud, Pulisic. And it'll give us a much more thrilling, exciting option up front than what we've had this year. In total, you're looking at around 255 million spent on those 4 players, taking into account around 135 million brought into the club from players leaving. So you're looking at Chelsea spending a net 120 million maybe, bearing in mind the money that we recouped from Eden Hazard signing for Real Madrid was spent on 2 players, Ziyech and Werner, already. Don't forget, we've also got the money coming in from Alvaro Morata, the second fee that's coming in from Atletico Madrid to bolster the numbers. So you could be even looking at a net 80 million when it comes to how much we've spent. So that's it from me. Let me know what you think about the transfer situation at Chelsea, where we need to go forward now after what we've witnessed at the end of the season, and just post all your comments in the comment section below. If you like the video, smash the like button for me, then subscribe to the channel, but make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss when my videos come out, which is daily. Also, brand new on the channel is channel memberships for those subscribers who want that little bit more. Click on that membership join button and you'll see the options that are available. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, post your comments. See you all tomorrow.